Italian Football Podcast.
Well, let's look ahead now to the semi-final. We're only 5 days away. It's going to be played on Tuesday, so it's going to come along very, very quickly. You're hard pressed to find anyone that thinks Milan can turn this around. The bookmakers certainly think that Inter are already in the final. I've seen odds this morning 14-1 for Milan to go through. Might even put a cheeky bet on that. 33-1 on Inter to go through. I mean, that is absolutely emphatic. That is. If Leao is back, can he be enough to rescue this for Milan?
Think Inter give away a penalty and get a player sent off, and Milan score 1-0 with 10 men. So how is this game over? This is why I'm so frustrated from an Inter perspective that they didn't kill this game off. 3-4-0, then yes, it's over. But 2-0, it's still all to play for. And yes, Inter are favourites. Yes, Inter have 1 foot in the final. All of that is true. But this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. And Inter need to remain focused and not choke and calmly continue doing what they've done. Starting with the Sassuolo game this weekend on Saturday at home. And then, continue the rotation policy, continue the patient build-up, continue everything that they've done so well up until this point, and go into that final with the knowledge, knowing that they pretty much need to just focus, keep a cool head, and be patient, and good things will come. And
from Milan's point of view? How do they approach this game? Do they go all out, or do they play a bit more measured?
No. They need to be measured and calm. They need to show that they are ready to be at this stage. They need to show that they are mature. They need to show that they are tactically solid. They need to start playing like a team that is champions of Italy. That attitude, Stefano Pioli needs to turn up tactically, and not. And have his players prepared mentally and tactically on the pitch so as not to play right into Inter's hands. And then, of course, if Leao plays, that means in important situations, in key moments, you need to have that killer instinct, because this will be decided by the moments.
Yeah, I think that if Milan can get the first goal,
that's the key.
Then it's game on, because psychologically, that would be huge. Inter did an incredible job of quieting the crowd. With that, the crowd was silenced almost. Well, for a long stage, they did come back and they were fantastic. But if Inter fans can be silenced, it might make Inter a little bit nervous. So Milan have to get the first goal. Yeah. Milan have to get the first goal.
Milan have to get the first goal. If Inter, and the longer it stays goalless, I think for Inter the key here is patience, not to concede, not to choke. This is why I would next week, Caro Simone, you have to start Brozovic and Lukaku. Game plan 1, I was with you. You executed it perfectly. Next week, it's all about the space. It's all about holding the ball. It's all about Lula. It's all about Lula next week. It's all about Çalhanoğlu. It's all about Brozovic. It's all about Barella. Next week is all about the counterattack and attacking the space and Lula. Those he has to he cannot rotate away Lula next week. I don't care if he has to start whatever he needs to do against Sassuolo. Do it. They're a different side. They're actually a pretty attacking side. Do what you need to do. But Lukaku must start with Lautaro against that Milan, because there's going to be space to had. And in the beginning, especially yesterday, especially when there was so much space to attack, he would have gobbled it up in the form he's in. Like it was. I'm not taking anything away from Dzeko. I'm talking just from a tactical point of view. And also when he came on, when he gets the ball and holds up, they just can't get near him. And it gives Inter the breathing space they need. Yeah. Dzeko can't do that.
Realistically, I think it's going to be very hard for Milan because Inter are in such magnificent form, and they've got 6 wins in a row. They've scored 17 goals and conceded 2 in those games. They've just they've hit form at the right time, and they just have so much confidence right now. They look physically in such great condition. And they've really turned that around, because that is something that I raised after the Porto game, when they they had that narrow escape with the three chances and injury time, and they looked out on their feet in that game. And I just thought, when would that have been? March, kind of like late March, middle of March.
Mid-March, yeah.
We're talking, and I was thinking,
Since then he's rotated.
Deep down, I thought, our Inter got the legs in them to play all this number of games in all three
that's what
competitions,
I was thinking too.
and I didn't know if they had it, but they have.
No.
They've turned it
But
around.
This is why you rotate. This is why he's criticized so much for it, and I think he's right not to give a damn. He has to rotate. It's as simple as that. He has to rotate.